Live.
Live. Welcome to
Are we doing it live?
Famicast. We're doing it live. Welcome to 40Cast. Already messing up in the first few seconds of the show. Welcome to Famicast 42. Your Famicast all about the new Nintendo 3DS and a couple other different things that are going on here in Japan. My catchphrase. I'm Danny Bivens, your host, and today I'm joined by Mr. James Charlton.
Yo, how's it going, man?
Yeah, going good, going good. And if you're able to be with us here for the video, you podcast listeners are missing out. James is decked out and completely in a Mario costume. He's been growing his mustache for months. He hasn't bathed for years, just just getting ready for Halloween this year.
All true, but you don't need to tell the listeners that.
Okay, well, whatever. So, yeah, like I said, I guess we'll just go ahead and kick things off talking about the new 3DS and kind of our launch day stories. And I think it might be appropriate for Mr. James Charlton to kick us off here and tell us all about, well, what went down in your neck of the woods when you tried to pick this thing up.
Well, let me just tell you. When I went to pick, because I like to plan ahead, So I planned the day I was going to get it, which was like, the day after its release. But the thing I didn't plan was actually, pre-ordering it. So I thought, these things aren't going to sell out, the especially the LLs, because people are going to go for the customizable ones, the Super Famicom color ones. They're bound to be the most popular. So, I'll just stroll in and get my black LL, new LL, which is what I plan on doing. Had all the cash ready, sold my old XL in preparation for this. So yeah, I walk into the store. They'd completely sold out of the XLs, the LLs. They had plenty of the small ones left, and they tried to sell me them, and I was like, nope. I stood my ground. I was like, no, 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 I want the XL, and they didn't have them that had them any at all, even the blue or black ones. Went to another shop, same story, and went to a big supermarket, same story. So yeah, anecdotally, the LLs are sold out.
Mhm, mhm,
As far as as far as anywhere near my town, anyway.
mhm.
So I'm sorry, Kyary Pamyu Pamyu, but your TV commercials didn't work that well because
Wow.
people are not interested in the faceplates. Clearly, there were plenty
Thankfully,
of faceplates.
I'll say, thankfully, Kyary Pamyu Pamyu is not the only one that's like, doing the faceplate thing. There's a lot of other cool designs and stuff out there. Thank God. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I've seen the TV ad about 10 times on TV.
Mhm.
They're saying that they're like prime time,
Yes.
prime time. But yeah, her deal with the devil actually did. Obviously isn't working
Mhm,
because they're not sold out yet.
mhm.
So, which is annoying because um, people people who are not living in Japan are starting to get theirs now. I'm seeing people on Twitter like I live in the Outer Hebrides and yeah, mine's arrived. Brilliant. Thanks
Yeah.
for that. But yeah. But how about you?
Yeah. So I too planned ahead, but unlike James, I actually went ahead and did put some money down for a reservation on the thing. I think it was around the time of like TGS. I just asked somebody at a
Jeez.
yeah, I was just at a electronics store and I just asked them about it, and they were like, "You guys doing pre-orders yet?" And they were, so I put down like 2,000 yen, equivalent of like $20, and yeah, that was good to go. And yeah, so launch day morning, no problem. I strolled in. The place opened at 10:30. I think I got there like 10:45. Strolled in, with my reservation card, picked it up, no problem. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Awesome. Well done.
yeah, yeah.
You win
So
you win this round, Bivens. You win this round.
well, I'll take any wins that I can get. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
yes.
And
So I
also
guess.
also online is the same deal, by the way. All sold out.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
the regular ones are still available. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna well, at the time of recording, there's a massive typhoon about to hit Japan, the second one in like, a week.
Yeah.
So I was going to put in my pre-order, not pre-order, sorry, a reservation for the next batch, the second batch that's coming in, probably sometime at the end of this week.
Hmm.
But I won't even be able to do that tomorrow, so because of the freaking typhoon coming.
Right.
So who knows when I'll be getting it? But I will, I will probably have it by the time we do the next, proper episode at the end of the month. So
Cool.
please understand.
Yeah. Exactly. So, well, it was going to be a two-man talk back and forth about all this stuff, but I guess I have to carry the burden here. And
Yeah, so I guess I'll just be leaving now then.
yeah, just get out of here. Now, so yeah, obviously I have the system. I've got a chance to play it and stuff. But I'll tell you, those first few, well, the first day of having a system was a bit rough. Starting at about like 11:15 in the morning, about an hour and a half after pretty much everyone in Japan got that, and also Monster Hunter 4G, which was released on the same day. The Nintendo servers were totally screwed until like 9 o'clock at night. So, well, at least for a couple of different things, particularly if you want to do a system transfer, you could not do it between those times unless you got lucky and somehow got in. Sometimes the servers were down. Sometimes they were just way too busy. And so I had a really difficult time just trying to get in, just to get the whole process started. And yeah, it's that, oh God, that's just a whole other issue in
That's
and amongst
ridiculous.
itself. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they got it working and stuff, but even, okay, my story is that so I have a 32 gigabyte card that was in my old 3DS, and I have like 22 gigabytes of stuff on there. Some of which are just old videos from like E3 2012 that I just, and like all sorts
Oh
of
my
demos that
God.
I need to just go in and delete. It's just, you
You're an
know,
idiot.
hey, it's not like it's kind of a bit of a pain in the butt to kind of go in and delete stuff on the 3DS. It's not.
Well, yeah, it's not like you just hold down the icons and they start to jiggle and then
I
you
mean,
just
that's
go pop,
crazy
pop, pop, pop,
magic
pop.
we're talking about here. So
Yeah. No,
yeah,
no device will exist that would ever do that.
absolutely not. Yeah. So yeah. So and then eventually got to starting that process, and um, I was an idiot, and I decided to. Well, first of all, I wasn't quite sure. I was kind of nervous about the whole process because I'd only done it once before. But obviously, that's not having to worry about changing cards and
Right.
stuff like that. Going to the micro SD is another thing that you kind of have to think about. But I I just figured, hey, I'm just going to send all this information, via, the wireless functionality of my 3DS, and, how long can it take? Maybe a couple hours or something, right?
Mine took a couple of hours for regular, just like, I don't know, a gigabyte of stuff. So I can't imagine 22 gigabytes.
Yeah, I think I had started the process at about 8 o'clock at night on the Saturday, and it was like at
And it
one point it
still
was like,
hasn't finished.
yeah, so I'm finished. And it's Monday night. No, then it was like the evening. It was around like 1 or 2, and I was like, wow, this thing is somewhere between 25 and 50%. This is awesome.
Oh shit.
And so I just went to bed, and I was just ready to call Nintendo technical support. Oh wait, I couldn't because they don't work on weekends, according to the website. So I was ready for a
Hashtag please
battle.
understand.
Yeah, please understand, we're not going to have any of our technical support working whenever we launch a new console and have a hot game out. But
Nah, people won't need technical support with a new device. It'll be
it
fine.
doesn't make any. Yeah, come on, that's ludicrous. So to my surprise, actually, the next morning when I got up, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock or something like that, it was done. And so that was awesome. So then I finally was able to actually properly play some of my games on there, like Smash, and access my
You just
game
had
saves.
you had to peel your system off the desk because it had like partially melted onto it because it
Yeah,
had been on for like 39 hours straight.
yeah, pretty much something like that. No, but even before I had even started doing the system transfer stuff, because it was having just problems disconnecting. I just tried out a lot of just basic stuff with the system. First of all, just kind of seeing how quickly the stuff goes in between each other. Like you're closing in an app and you're going into another one, stuff like that. And honestly, things are just significantly faster. You can really see the speed boost at work, with the CPU, and things are just running a lot better that way. The web browser, which was borderline unusable.
No, not borderline. Just go ahead and say it.
Okay, it was crap. And yeah, now it feels more like a modern browser. I mean, when you actually click a link, it doesn't take like 10 seconds to go there. It's not like always, if I ever use like the 3DS browser, it kind of reminded me of back in the day, dial up, looking at toys or something. I like Star Wars action figures. Guilty confession there. This crap like that, and it would take ages and ages. You go get a cup of water and you drink it all, and you come back and it's still not loaded.
Well, it's the same as the Wii browser, the original Wii, and it's the DS, browser cartridge thing that they did.
All right.
They haven't done any speed increase since 2004.
I don't know about that.
Finally, well, apparently the Wii U one is pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty good, and this is more on. I think it's more on par with the Wii U browser. Like I said, the Wii U browser is pretty good, but it's just the same thing, with the 3DS one. Like now, this is great and it works really nicely, but I don't have any reason to use this because I have all sorts of other devices that I'm constantly using, like a phone or something like that. But it still is nice to know that this stuff is there and they made some enhancements, and now you can actually watch streaming videos and crap that are embedded. This does not mean that you can watch YouTube directly in the web browser. To do that, you're going to have to actually go to the YouTube app. And right now, there's no workaround to where, as far as I know, where if you click on a YouTube video, that it takes you to like the YouTube app or anything.
Oh, I've done that. No,
oh, have you? Okay.
Yeah,
well, maybe it's because I just don't have it installed. That would be a good explanation.
You moron! Of course that's why.
Well.
It won't switch to the YouTube app. I haven't got it installed, but I can't understand why.
I'll take it. So there you go. But even with that, it'd probably be a lot quicker than doing it on the new 3DS and what it would be on the original one of the original 3DS units, which is nice. And another thing I got to check out too is the Miiverse. As many of you are well aware, especially you guys out there in the West that have not got a chance to try out the new 3DS, or your James. Yeah, it's no, it's kind of the middle finger right at me. Perfect. No, it's kind of crappy. I mean, it takes literally 30 seconds or more just to get the application booted up and running to a point where you can actually move around. And then even then, if you click on individual posts, it's like 5 to 10 seconds to load up. It's just awful. But
are you talking about the new 3DS?
No. I'm the old ones.
Okay, but
now it's it does take a little bit of time to load up. I've clocked it several different times. Some are usually between 8 to 10 seconds. Okay. But going into like the individual posts and stuff, that's actually pretty quick. I haven't really had any problems with that. But yeah, I just kind of just perusing around there, just checking stuff out, and yeah, it runs really well. So
that's cool. I might actually give it another shot.
Yeah.
It's just too painful on the current 3DS.
Yeah, I will tell you, this is kind of going into some other stuff that I'm going to talk about in a little bit too. But Smash Brothers on the 3DS. If you have a normal 3DS, you cannot access the Miiverse when you're playing it. But today, I just kind of remembered, it's like, oh yeah, I should probably test that out so we can talk about this. And so I was just playing some Smash, and then I just hit the home button and went to Miiverse, and it works. But it took probably something like 30 seconds to get Miiverse loaded up, and it was almost as slow as what it is on a regular 3DS, outside of Smash. So, it's not like a great experience, but it is cool because you actually, use the Miiverse functionality with it.
World exclusive.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. So even Smash is pushing the regular 3DS to its limits. Even with the new 3DS, it's still
right. And obviously,
crunching.
Right. Obviously, I mean, Miiverse was not intended initially to be part of the 3DS, infrastructure, that type of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot more power with this thing, and it seems a little bit more, not as much as like an afterthought or something. So, you know, in that respect, it does work a lot nicer. But, you know, Smash Brothers is already taxing the old system. It's probably, you know, doing a fair amount of taxing on the new system as well. But then running something else that's not native to the system, you know, in conjunction with that is just going to be not good.
Smash takes a good while to load up, right? How about on the new one?
Yeah,
You say
and
it's faster?
yeah, absolutely. It is considerably faster. I mean, you're basically just right in there as soon as you. Yeah, I have the digital version, so you know, I don't know what it's like with the card stuff, but you know, my old 3DS, it does take quite a while to load up. It starts booting up the game, and you booting up, you know, there's a boot up screen that does the loading from the SD card thing, all that type of crap, and it takes a while. But on the new 3DS, it's very fast. It's just as fast as any other game that I've ever played on 3DS. So
cool.
yeah, one other thing I think that, you know, I should talk about too is the new enhanced 3D viewing angles on the 3DS, on the new 3DS. Yeah. And, you know, just so you guys at home know, I have a new 3DS XL. You know, I did not get the smaller one. I wanted the bigger one. After going to the XL last year, there's no going back, man. I can't see any reason to do that at this point. Kyary Pamyu Pamyu or not. I mean, so.
Her magic didn't work on you.
Not yet. It's getting there, maybe. So.
And also, you're not an 8-year-old girl who customizes her 3DS with stickers and flowers.
Can you look me in the eyes and honestly say that?
Can I take that back?
Yeah. So yeah, the new 3D on the system is wonderful. It's really good. And whenever you're setting up the initial stuff on the 3DS anyways, there's like a 3D test that you do, and then this time they do, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of the actual technical name that they had. It's something like, oh my God, I had it down. Something like 3D prevention, blur prevention, I think is what it called, like blur prevention, something or other. And so basically what the new 3DS is doing with the front-facing camera, it's tracking like your face and kind of like your upper body. And so anytime you like kind of move around a lot, it is actually kind of like picking up where you're actually moving. And during this test,
does it demonstrate that during the test?
On this test, in like the corner, it shows like this, the bottom of the screen. It has this little corner, it has this little box, and it has this little avatar, this smiling guy that is just moving around back and forth as you are. And that's essentially where the 3D viewing angle would be. So you can kind of see that. And it's kind of weird too, because even when you're moving, you can sometimes see the screen like adjusting. It's not like awful. I mean, maybe that sounds like it's terrible, but it's like pretty quick when it's like adjusting. It's adjusting this thing on the fly. So yeah, you can move your head around.
Well, that's the whole point. Obviously, it's doing this in real time, so it's going to take, you know, half a second to do that. But
right.
the point before was that if you went to the side, then it would be blurring no matter what, right? But now it'll take a second, it'll adjust, and then you can continue playing, right? So
exactly.
That's the whole point, right?
And yeah, even today, my girlfriend, some reason I just booted up concentration training, the 3DS one, the 3DS brain training game, and I was just watching her play on the new 3DS, and yeah, I mean, we're both watching it in 3D. I mean, you know, I was kind of like leaning over and stuff, but not like, you know, my head like in front of hers or anything like that, you know, just like off to the side, but I can still catch the 3D and stuff, so that was cool.
Right, so you're saying the viewing angle is wider,
even
without the tracking.
Yeah, considerably wider. I mean, you can still see it pretty well outside of that. At least that's my experience so far.
So with two people, do you think that would cause some kind of interference, you know?
It's possible. I mean, I was far enough away where it wasn't probably picking up on my face. Maybe, I guess. But
that's probably for the best. You don't want many things picking up on your face, right?
True. So if you're watching this video live, I'm very sorry about that.
No, we just lost a listener.
Yeah.
A viewer.
Yeah. Yeah. So, maybe we'll see. So in terms of games, I pretty much the thing I got to play the most of was Smash Brothers. I played last night for maybe about 30 minutes or something with some other Nintendo World Report staffers, Michael T.Y.P. Cole, Zach Miller, and our guy Addison Webb. We all played together for about 30 minutes, and I was really hoping, naively maybe, that
you would win because you're on the new 3DS.
Well, that too, and that, you know, maybe it would run a little bit better online. they talked about enhanced download speeds or something. So I was thinking maybe they did something to kind of revamp like connection stuff or whatnot. But no, I mean, I double checked after.
That's all irrelevant, right? Because those guys were on regular 3DSs in America. So it would all just be null and void.
Right. So I guess that comes into play too, right? And but
we'll have some real impressions for you at the next episode when me and Danny go at it on new 3DSs within
right.
Japan.
Yeah, and even today for a little bit, I did go online just to play random people just to see how it was, and there's obviously no way of telling if you're playing with a new 3DS or not. So I don't know, and it was kind of cruddy still, but yeah, that's just the thing. Who knows if these other people that I'm playing with have this new system? It's just there's no way of knowing. So
are you getting more bad matches online than good?
Like in terms of speed and stuff, or
yeah, I'm doing fine on mine.
It just depends on the stage. Particularly, I think this has happened multiple times in that Nintendo stage, where it just starts slowing down like crazy, and it's I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of good luck with that stage playing it online. So
right, interesting. Yeah, I don't have any major complaints, and according to Johnny on RFN, seems to be doing okay in the States. Within the United States. So
right. Like we talked about last month too, I don't think it's terrible. I mean, sometimes I have played some matches where it literally becomes like a slideshow and then it just drops. That only happened, the thing where it dropped, that only happened once, but I mean, I've had other times where it does get a little bit choppy. Today was another example. I have pretty good internet connection for wireless and stuff too, so I mean, I don't think that's necessarily the issue, I guess.
The worst thing I've ever happened was like literally in the middle of the match, this red Smash Brothers icon just came up, and it just stopped the whole match, and it was spinning around for about 10 or 15 seconds.
Oh wow!
Then the match resumed, but I think that happened to everybody because nobody died or anything. It was just like it just kind of paused the game, kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's probably the worst experience I've had, but that only happened once. So.
Right. And another thing about the new 3DS too, obviously the new C-Stick, that's a thing that it's there, and also they have the additional triggers and stuff too. Maybe some people were kind of worried, or I don't know, curious at least about how that works. And as many of you out there know, that this is kind of like the little, the A and like over attacks, like those type of things, whenever you do them. And I don't know, even on the GameCube, using this mashing, being one of those guys that's mashing on the C-Stick, I never really did that. Right. It always felt a little bit better to me just to kind of have a little bit more control over that by myself.
You fight with honor.
Something like that, even though I was playing in the enjoy mode or whatever. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess people could spam the crap out of it and stuff, but there's ways around that. If someone's just gonna sit there doing that all day and just dodge them or something, and I don't know.
So does it work well though? I mean, does it do what it like a C-Stick? Does it work like a C-Stick?
Oh yeah, it does, and kind of like what I mentioned after TGS and stuff. The C-Stick, it is really, really stiff. I mean, ridiculously stiff, like those nubs on like laptops. And this kind of
I had to play with the demo unit when I went on my #fail mission to get a new 3DS, and I had to play around with it, and it really does feel like one of those laptop ones, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But I guess responsiveness is good.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you're actually using it, it is very responsive. Just kind of like those little mice. I mean, they feel like they're really tough or something. But no, you don't have to like jam on the thing and like tear it off of your system to get it to go to the left or right or something. I mean, you just kind of just put your thumb on it and just let it go. And it's kind of nice. You can use it to, like, for example, in the web browser, you use the C-Stick to zoom in and out of like the web page and stuff like that. And
nice.
On the menu, you can actually use it to go back and forth, basically to choose your icons and stuff if you really want to.
Or just like the regular.
Just like the regular circle pad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. So it's got some other menu functionality too.
Yeah, I did run into a couple of weird bugs today. Like, for example, I went into one of my folders, the useless folder of old videos. And I don't know, it was
22 gigabytes of Mario Party Island Tour videos. Yeah.
there's probably a couple of those in there. Um, no, but I had went into that and it was weird because I could not see the icon, basically where the which video I'm choosing, and it would not scroll over, and I could not press back on the menu to back out, and so I had to press the home button and it kind of back, went back to the initial home screen and stuff. And then after that, I was having a lot of issues. Like, for example, I could not use the C stick and I could not use the extra trigger buttons in Smash or anywhere. It just, some kind of a weird error that happened. The only way I could get that fixed was just rebooting the system. Because
do the ZR and ZL buttons do anything in Smash?
yes,
Just the C stick.
Yeah, they do. Basically,
They
they're copies of the shoulder buttons. Oddly enough, I guess the right one, just the regular right trigger, that's default set up as block, but ZR, that's set up as the grab, and then L is set up as a grab, and then ZL is set up as the block. So you can rock it like that if you want to.
Cool. So in the menu options, the custom control options, those buttons show up, I guess now.
No, they do not.
Ah, okay. Maybe that's in the next update.
Yeah, so it could be coming with an update because you could definitely use them, but you just can't customize them as of yet. I don't see why that would not come in another update.
And talking of the menus, it was a really weird thing that happened this week. So there was a big system update, version 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which improved a lot of things. Like you can now put your Twitter and Facebook accounts straight on the main page. You can just do that, and you can tweet screenshots, and you can actually take menu screenshots right there as part of the system. And what else can you do? Yeah, like the icons at the top have like kind of moved around a bit. And everything seems to be, a lot more slick, I guess.
Right.
But
exactly.
The weird thing is, like, the themes got unlocked. Where you can change the home screen theme to like Mario, Zelda, or just plain colors or whatever. And in every country except Japan, and which is so weird. The only country that's getting the new 3DS that these themes are supposed to be complementing. That was the only country that didn't get it. So they held off until the other day when the new system came out, right? So,
yeah, actually, I think it might have been Friday, but
I haven't.
Okay.
I guess it's another update because I'm still on the original update and I still don't have the themes shop.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they do another update to get that.
Yeah, yeah, you will, and because I have both the North American and the Japanese one. I remember on Wednesday. First, I think it was like earlier in the week, like a Tuesday or something, that it came out in the West, and or at least North America. And I was like, hey, cool, I'm going to do it on my Japanese one too. And I updated it, and I was like, oh, I can do everything except change the menus. And I think after that, I had updated my North American one just as like, am I being stupid and just missing something here? And
yeah. I did the same thing. I was like looking through the menus for like 10 minutes. And
oh, yeah.
Lots of people online were doing the same thing, and then I eventually clicked, and I was like, "Oh, it's not there." Because I think Don Koopman did a video, like walkthrough of all the themes. He bought every single one for some reason, totaling probably around $200. But anyway,
I don't think it's that much.
Well, they're like $2 each, and God knows how many there are anyway. And on his menu, and I was mirroring it. I paused his video and I looked on mine. I was like looking back and forth. I was like, okay, it should be here, and it's not here. Okay, so it's not on. So eventually clicked, which was a bit weird.
Yeah,
but yeah. Have you updated it to the latest one on your Japanese
of course.
one?
You have to do the system transfer. You have to update everything.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So
that's why I updated it, because I was getting ready for the new system transfer, and that's why I updated it. But alas, I have not yet used that system transfer yet. But so, which theme did you end up choosing? Did you just use a regular color?
I was trying to just think of, well, I haven't went through and bought any of the ones yet. Actually, here there are quite a few different ones than what they have in the West. There are and a lot of them more that are coming in like November and stuff too. A lot of third-party stuff. They even have like a special Arc System Works page if you're brave enough to go down that route.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah. There's some Monster Hunter stuff, and there's some Mighty Gunvolt stuff, or Gunvolt stuff. Mighty Gun. I get confused. Which one's the 8-bit one? Which one's the real one?
Yeah, I saw the Monster Hunter ones. They're pretty cool. They've got like you know, different, not just one, but like several kinds. You know?
Right. And
very, you know, macho looking one and a very cute looking one, depending on what type of Monster Hunter player you are. We all know what type you are, Danny.
Of course.
The one that 30 minutes and then never again.
Let's say the one that doesn't play anymore. No, and yeah, there's some different stuff too. Even some stuff that's available in the States that aren't available in Japan. Oddly enough, like there's a Hanafuda theme, and that's not available in Japan. Only in North America right now. It's kind of weird, but yeah. At any rate, yeah. So there's some differences in that, but you know, functionality is exactly the same. But you know, with mine, I went ahead and just went with the yellow background because it goes well with the dark blue system that I have. If you have black, it's just almost seems too black, too dark, you know. But
I want everything black.
There you go.
Maybe with the Batman logo on it or something.
Yeah. I guess before we move on from the 3DS, we did get a couple of different, well, maybe one particular different comment from Twitter. And if you guys out there are watching right now, if you want to send in your question or anything like that, you can hit us up at the Famicast on Twitter, and we'll read out your tweet sometime live.
Hashtag Famicast Live.
Yes. So this one is from Nicholas Bray. He's one of the Australian correspondents for Nintendo World Report. Good guy. Really good at GoldenEye. Yeah. Anyway, so he had a couple of different things. One was kind of just, I'm guessing, joking around. But yeah, some of the stuff we already addressed. Does Smash load faster when it's smoother and faster when launching the software? Yeah, it does. Another thing that he asked just about the system in general, something I didn't really think about it until I read this, but he said, does the system have enough of a gap to prevent the top screen from getting scratched when closed? You know, I was kind of just looking at this, and I don't know, you could maybe kind of see this if you're watching the video, but it seems like there's enough of a little bit of a gap in there that it's not getting scratched. I only had a problem with that with my original 3DS unit. I didn't have a problem with my XL, any of my XLs that I have. Just gonna kind of look at that. It looks almost the same on my
your original 3DS. You mean this one?
Yeah, the one that you have right there.
This is Danny's original 3DS. Yeah, it's got scratches on the screen.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But yeah, they've kind of fixed that with the XL, right?
Yeah.
Regular XL.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't had. Some people have had problems with it. I haven't, so I don't know.
Dude, you don't have a screen sticker on here. What's wrong with you?
I don't believe in that stuff, man. I take care of my systems, except for my limited edition gold 3DS Zelda one, which I threw in a bag without a case and I got scratched.
Idiot.
Pretty much. So.
Well, I guess this screen scratching is not your fault. That's a design error, isn't it?
Yeah. Come on, that's not my fault. Me scratching my gold 3DS is definitely my fault. I'm gonna blame it on my bag, the bag manufacturer. Nothing to do with video games or anything, but yeah. So I guess that pretty much does it.
So you think it's gonna be fine?
I hope so. It doesn't. Yeah, great. Like I said, it looks almost exactly the same as like the a standard, 3DS XL. So
the cartridge slot at the front,
right?
Looks pretty smart, right? On the new 3DS.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can see that here. right there.
But
You know,
the SD card is a bit of a pain
oh
to get out.
my God. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me of that. Well, and then another thing too, you know, they moved the stylus down to the bottom, which it's kind of just weird.
That's cool.
I prefer the XL with it being on the side. That's just the most logical place to have that. Your hands like on it right there anyway. But yeah, man, if you're going to be one of those guys that's going to be switching around your system to be getting pictures off your SD card, well, I hope you have a PC and can make use of the wireless data transfer feature. Because if you don't have a PC, you can't do it. And I have a Mac, so I can't do it. And if I ever want to get pictures off my new 3DS now, I have to unscrew the back, pop it off, and then take out the SD card. It doesn't sound like much, but I
You,
don't.
Nintendo released an official video for this, like NCL, Nintendo of Japan, and I I took a screenshot of the video,
Mhm.
and I tweeted out, this is a guy illegally modifying his 3DS. Oh no, wait, this is an official video how to change the micro SD card. It really does look like that. It's crazy. You got to use a freaking screwdriver to take out the SD card. I
Yeah,
mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I thought this stupid flap thing that they had with the original 3DS and the XL. I thought that was stupid. But at least at least you can get it out within a few seconds.
well, I'll tell you another thing about this too, because after you have it unscrewed, you're supposed to try to kind of slide it. Well, first we have to get it like unlocked from the side, and to do that, they say, okay, take your stylus on the opposite side. There's a little thing you can pry the case back with, and it'll kind of like pop off a little
Actually,
bit.
the original one kind of has that. Look, if you have a look.
Yeah, it's basically that same type of a thing, and
That's really cool.
it's really weird. And doing it, I swear to God, like the little insert areas, it just seems like they're a little bit.
Mhm.
They're almost getting like I thought I was going to break the goddamn thing doing this thing, man. Honestly, so it just feels. It's so weird. It's just not. It's like non-Nintendo. It's just way too complicated for moms or kids to do. Um,
All right.
but I mean, okay, it doesn't take a genius to work a screwdriver or something. But I can maybe see people accidentally breaking these things or cracking the cases or something like that. And I don't know. It was just obnoxious. But
Please understand.
yeah. So, all right. Well, man, do you have anything else you want to ask about with the new 3DS or anything you think I might have missed? Or
No, I think you covered everything. I mean, we can't talk about Amiibos and the NFC yet, right?
well, actually, no, I can't.
I don't suppose you can use Suica on the new 3DS, can you? I haven't tried that.
That is one thing I did not try yet, but I doubt it. They would probably have to do some kind of an update to do that, and that could be coming. I mean, it's on the Wii U now, and it's just
Oh, no,
so
you're right.
it's possible.
I'm sure they would do that.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's probably just coming up in a future update.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Awesome. I look forward to getting one sometime in the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they keep selling out.
Yeah. And stay tuned to NintendoWorldReport.com. Working on getting a couple of different articles up on the site and stuff. So stay tuned there so you can check all that stuff out. Yeah, like I said.
And I also might be doing a video of my failed attempt to get a new 3DS. It was originally a video of me getting one, but then it turned into a video of me not getting one. So I might just publish it anyway.
You make us all proud. Yeah. So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and end our new 3DS talk for now. I mean, obviously, we'll be coming back at you guys later in the month, so we'll definitely have more impressions of the system, just having more time, spending more time with it. So you can look forward to that. But yeah, just a few other things we want to kind of get to here. And there are a couple of different bits of news that we wanted to touch on. And I'll kind of go ahead and just run by this stuff a little bit quickly. Yeah, so the official numbers were out. I believe we might even got this in a press release. But yeah, Smash sales for the 3DS up to 2.8 million worldwide, which is, yeah, pretty impressive.
That was, yeah, that happened pretty quickly, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we were thinking, well, that's worldwide, right? That
Right.
was after the American launch, I guess.
Yes, because
The
then,
Western
yeah,
launch.
maybe a week or something after that, Nintendo, from the press releases and stuff we got, all over the place. We got them from the UK, Australia, blah blah blah, all that. So basically, all saying the same thing, which is cool. Um, yeah. Also, too, just for you guys out there, obviously in the West, you lucky guys in North America, you guys will be able to get your hands on Smash Brothers in late November. Here in Japan, I think it's December 6th is when it's coming out here. So I'm looking forward to that. And Amiibo is supposed to be coming out on the same day, I believe. So same type of thing. It's probably some kind of blind box bullshit that I'm not really into. But yeah, other than that, so Captain Toad, as some of you guys know, the new game coming out for Wii U, it's going to be compatible with some, but not all Amiibo. Yeah, so actually they were talking about this on one of the latest episodes of Connectivity, and well, obviously maybe there's some characters that just and stuff that just would not fit into some game worlds, but even some ideas that they were kind of throwing around was like, well, what if you use a Link amiibo on Captain Toad and you just have some kind of like a Link themed costume or something like that. I can see that type of stuff being possible, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually got a good tweet about this, and oh man, I feel really bad because I can't find who said it, but I promise to rectify that later. But his idea was that the Mario, Peach, and Donkey Kong ones would be compatible because this guy tweeted a picture of I guess it was one of the March of the Minx games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where they had like the wind-up toy version of Mario,
Right.
but they also had Donkey Kong and Peach from the same game,
Mm-hmm.
and those characters can't jump either.
Mm-hmm.
So his idea was that because Toad can't jump, right? That's the whole point.
Right.
If you put Mario in the game, then it just kind of ruins it, right? Because he can do anything. But if it was a March of the Minis type Mario, or a DK or a Peach, those little wind-up toy versions, then they can't jump either. So it would kind of fit in with the theme of the game, while still technically being Peach.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe you can just swap out Toad for a Mario toy or a Donkey Kong toy.
Right.
And play with those. What that would do, other than just a skin change, I don't know. But but I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Right.
But yeah, the main thing is that the problem with having these amiibos work with lots of games is that not every game has every character. No, I mean, like Smash Brothers has every goddamn character under the sun, but
yeah.
Mario Kart 8, which is going to be compatible, doesn't, right? I
mean, getting close.
Getting close.
Yeah.
But are they going to have Marth or Ike in Mario Kart? I don't think so.
Right.
Or Shulk. So it's probably I think it's going to be more like compatible with some amiibo. How they're going to advertise this, on the back of the box. I mean, if it's got the Amiibo logo on, people are like, "Oh, cool! I've got a Shulk Amiibo. I'll be able to use it with this, with Mario Kart or this Captain Toad." But then, you buy the game and it turns out you can't, and you got to buy another Amiibo.
Right.
How that will go down is going to be interesting. And are they going to have like a list of Amiibos on the back of the box, like only works with Mario and Donkey Kong?
God.
The list of compatibility list is going to be endless, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Good luck getting a game description on the back of your box.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of yeah, that was just off that press release about Toad, you know, the worldwide releases and everything, and just that little excerpt kind of you know, caught my eye. It's like, interesting how
Right.
it's going to go forward. You know, we're going to find out more about Amiibos in the next couple of months, I guess.
Mhm.
It could be worrying that we still really don't know exactly much about these things, even though they're coming out soon. But you know,
Right.
that's Nintendo. You know, do we know the Smash launch date?
Yes,
The
I
Wii
just
U
said it
version?
earlier. Here, December 6th, and in North America, I believe it's November 11th. November, oh my God, November 21st. Um,
So yeah, it is the 21st, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, then
Closer than
actually,
what we always thought.
yeah, for Captain Toad, you know, as they said in Europe, they're not going to be getting that this year. It's coming out December 5th in North America, and it's actually coming out November 13th here. So we'll have that before people in the West, while they're gearing up for their Smash Brothers, we'll be, I don't know, tracking treasure with Toad. So,
There you go. Cool. Yeah, sorry, we're on this live stream, this Google Hangouts thing. The audio cuts out a lot of the time. Hopefully that doesn't affect the recording for you guys listening. But
yeah, hopefully I can work a little bit of magic and make this stuff as smooth as possible on the you know, podcast version. But yeah, for anybody listening live, sorry about that.
yes, I'm not ignoring everything Danny's saying, although I do usually do that.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's only
Yeah.
when we're speaking face to face.
Well, duh. Yeah, of course. Yeah. One of the other little bits of news, James, you put this stuff up. I'm just going to say this, and maybe you can kind of expand upon this a little bit. You know, Samus costume is going to be Samus costume / weapon is going to be available in Monster Hunter 4G, 4G or 4.
Yeah, I think this is also going to be in the Western version
Okay.
for Ultimate, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so there's going to be a Samus, you know, traditional Samus suit and the Zero Suit Samus suit for Monster Hunter. I'm
Mhm.
assuming this is only for the female Monster Hunters because it would be quite horrifying to see a male wear the Zero Suit Samus costume.
I don't see the problem
Uh,
here.
but the cool thing is they've also got the sound effects. She's holding a modified version of the bowgun weapon. I think that's what it's called, bowgun,
Okay.
right? The long distance range weapon. Come on, I don't know
Oh,
this game.
okay.
But it's modified to look like you know, Samus's powered cannon.
Sure.
But like a huge version of it, and the sound effects have also been changed to sound more like the Metroid sound effects.
Mhm.
So it's a pretty good skin of to put into Monster Hunter.
Cool.
Add that onto the Link ones and the Mario and Luigi cat ones, and
Right.
I have a feeling there's another one.
They're
Was
doing a
another one announced
ton.
recently?
No, yeah, they announced a ton of different stuff over the past like month or two, and yeah, there's a lot of just crazy DLC and just exclusive things, kind of like 7-Elevens and stuff like that. Yeah, tons of crazy stuff there. So
Right, yeah. But yeah, it looks cool.
yeah,
And if I had the game, I would probably get that. But I think
yeah,
it might even be a free download. I'm not sure.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Are those things usually paid for? Like
Um,
the Link one was just like you had to go to 7-Eleven or something, right?
yeah, some of them are exclusive to like retailers or whatever, like that type of stuff. I'm pretty sure that they did move some of that stuff into the eShop later on. Maybe it's free downloads. You know, like I said, I don't own the game. This would be something that Matt would have to tell us a little bit more about, as I'm sure he's a little bit more familiar with it than the guys that don't own the game. So
We'll have to. Yeah, we're so useless, aren't we? Japanese podcast in Japan about Nintendo, and yeah, neither of us play Monster Hunter or Yokai Watch.
yeah. Well, hey, I played the demo. It's cool for the first one.
That counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely counts.
Yeah. So I guess moving on. Yeah, we kind of talked about this already. The horrifying Kyary Pamyu Pamyu. She's like a Japanese idol as they call them. Someone that your kids really look up to because they're changing society, right? Isn't that what this is about? Japanese idols, or is that something else? Or is that like
standing up for human rights and
okay.
Freedom of speech and dancing around in miniskirts, all the same thing.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah,
we talked about this, didn't we already?
Right.
The horrifying advertisement on TV.
Right. But actually, go ahead.
Go ahead. Come on, this is my wheelhouse. Horrifying J-pop. The bane of my existence. So in this commercial, you can see it on YouTube. I'm sure everyone's seen it by now. But like Kyary Pamyu Pamyu.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes me vomit just saying her name. Is kind of transforming all these Nintendo characters into her kind of style, horrifying pink and stripes and weird things. And you can see all these, like Toon Link wearing a top hat and Bowser wearing, glasses and a suit. And these kind of been trending and on various forums as like Dad Bowser, which is quite funny. If you do a search for Dad Bowser, you can see what I'm talking about. It's all completely stupid, and it isn't even working because there's plenty left in stores.
Yeah, I honestly think that they should have just did exchangeable covers with both of the systems. I mean, maybe they just did that just because they thought, well, hey, everyone's been buying the big ones because they're just, in my opinion, better. I prefer the bigger screen. But
I did see during my fail quest, I did see some clip-on covers for the the new LL, like Dragon Quest. They had a whole, sorry, not Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter section, and they had sticker sets and plastic clip-on cases for the new XL.
Sure.
To make it look Monster Hunter-y. Some of them look quite good.
Mm-hmm.
They may or may not make it onto the video of me failing to purchase a 3DS. Please look forward to it / sorry I didn't bother to publish the video.
Yeah. It looks like we have maybe a bit of a correction here too, from something that we might have said on the last show.
Uh-oh. What did you say now, Danny?
I don't even know if I even said this. So the new 3DS does. Wait, you should have mentioned this in the last show. The new 3DS does improve load times in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Apparently, we said the new 3DS doesn't. Hold on. The new 3DS doesn't just add in new buttons and better viewing angles for 3D. It also has more horsepower under the hood, which seems to be a good thing for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Famitsu has gone hands-on with the game via the new 3DS, and they've mentioned that loading times were improved over those found on the original 3DS. So maybe that's just something I just didn't say or didn't even notice, because I mean, I played the demos, but I wasn't playing stuff literally side by side. So
yeah. We had the world's first podcast about TGS. We beat every other podcast out there, but we weren't the first with the most correct information. Because I think the IGN podcast, they did one, a few days after us, and they commented on that Monster Hunter was, much improved speed-wise on the new 3DS. And then,
there were a couple of things I heard. I mean, I really dig the podcast, but just some misinformation there about the Monster Hunter booth kind of drove me a little bit crazy. But hey, whatever.
And then and then Famitsu obviously did some investigative journalism themselves and found out that it did make it faster. So yeah, it's pretty widely known now that the new 3DS does improve load times for Monster Hunter 4. It's obviously been optimized for the new system, as has Smash. So yeah,
right,
there you go. Cool, good to know. But there you go. We're saying it a few weeks late, but there you go.
Right.
Corrections. There was another correction, right? I forgot what it was.
That looks like, well, at least according to everything right now, that's it. So I mean, we do have the Tokyo Game Show Game Awards. I don't know if that really even means anything, to be perfectly honest. And I,
But I think Monster Hunter 4 and Yokai Watch won tied like best sales award, I think.
well, this
So yeah.
Game Award, Game of the Year division, the Game Award for 2014 was a tie between Monster Hunter 4 and Yokai Watch 1.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, a couple other
I, lo
things. Like,
I love Japanese awards, like the music awards that they have, because it's just all based on sales. It's not like where well, I don't know about in the States, but we have like like let's just say the Oscars, where there's like a panel of judges who
mhm,
decide the best movie of that year in each category and stuff. But Japan is just like it's solely based on sales, and it's always the idol groups that win because the rabid fans buy like 10 copies of every album,
mhm.
because they got like tickets to meet the people, meet the idols inside the album case, so they buy like 100 copies. So like it just completely bloats the charts, and there's like 100,000 billion sales of one album, but there's more than the people who live in Japan. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, the way they're
But
spinning it on these actual awards, they say just award for excellence is how most of this. They do no, they do have
Award for
actually like
excellence, yeah.
they have okay award for excellence special award. Actually, that's kind of a weird one. Sully Tiba, like the Game Freak horse racing solitaire mashup, got that. I mean, it's a kind of a fun, weird game, but I don't think it's all technically based on sales. But yeah, all these are best sellers from what I can tell.
Sales
They're at
or
least
just like
very
po
high sellers,
mind share, popularity, that kind of thing. That's very
right?
big in Japan, isn't it? It's like whatever everybody's talking about, that is obviously the best thing in the world,
Sure.
even if it's actually terrible. But
Yeah.
kind of like Angry Birds, I guess. But
So we will.
everything in Japan is like Angry Birds. It's,
Yeah,
you know.
we won't dwell on this much longer. Yeah.
But the attendance was up, right, for TDS this year?
No, attendance was down a little bit. I think last year was something around 290, and now it was like 270. It was like a 20,000 people difference or something, person difference from last year, which is the one of the highest in a very, very long time. But
Right, right. Well, there's no big hardware launches or anything this
right,
year, I guess.
right. So it made sense. I mean, yeah, the new 3DS was there, and yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were interested to see that. But yeah, when you have new hardware from multiple companies around, that yeah, that kind of really pushes that type of stuff. But um,
Lovely.
yeah,
Oh, while we're on the topic of TGS, I finally finished my trolling video, so I'll
oh,
probably
awesome.
I'll probably be linking that in my Twitter handle sometime
Oh,
after
that is
this video
glorious.
publishes.
Yeah, I
This is
mean,
not an officially endorsed Nintendo World Report video.
okay.
There'll be a much more formal and less trolly video on NWR. But
I just
if you
remember being with James on the show floor and just like laughing, well, wanting to laugh in these people's face because James was just being a dick. But
it was hilarious. It wasn't a hilarious show, wasn't
yeah, it definitely was.
it? There
God.
you go. But you'll have two choices. You'll have a trolling version and a non-trolling version. So please
Yeah,
understand.
exactly. Please understand. You have two choices. Um,
There you go.
yeah,
Is that it for news?
that's it for news. So
Cool.
it looks like we have just a couple other things here to wrap the show up with. We did get a couple of questions from you guys. Looks like some came from the forum, some came from email, and some other stuff came via tweets. Just so you guys have all this information back home, if you want to get a hold of us, you can do that via email. It's at the Famicast at NintendoWorldReport.com. You can get a hold of us there. You can get a hold of us, as always, in the Nintendo World Report forums or in any kind of talkback thread that we have with the podcast. Then at Twitter, we are at the Famicast, so you can shoot us anything there, and we'll read it on the show. Yeah, I mean, we talked about freaking yachts or whatever last time. So I mean, seriously, this
We'll talk about anything.
yeah, yeah. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about life in Japan stuff. It can be about anything. But if you guys have something you want to hear about, yeah, by all means, we'll be more than happy to talk about it. So let's see. So today we kind of have a bit of a warm-up question here from Zeke from the forums, and pretty simple stuff. But I don't know, James, do you want to go into all of this stuff today, or do we want to wait for this later when we have not just you and me?
Sure, yeah, whatever, man.
Sure, whatever, let's do it. Sure, whatever, let's wait.
Well, we can just do the short one now.
Okay, this is fairly short and I think fairly straightforward. So, how expensive is life in Japan? Things like groceries, rents, and do you pay for TV, stuff like that? And yeah, I think over the years we have kind of talked about this type of stuff. And typically, I come from America where everything is cheap and in high abundance. So I'll tell you, coming to Japan was quite a bit of a shock for me for a lot of stuff like that. Buying groceries and whatnot, and not having a refrigerator that's just like as big as a bedroom to put all it in, But no, yeah, typically
we lost grandma again. Where is she? She's in the fridge.
Yeah, so that stuff's a lot higher, and even stuff like rent too, depending on where you live. I mean, James and I, we don't live quite in Tokyo, but I'm probably a little bit more out there than you are, I would say.
That's true.
Yeah, but I live fairly close to like a fairly active train station that has like 2 different lines and stuff. So, still have to pay quite a bit of money for a house or for an apartment that's not anywhere near as big as what you would get in the middle of nowhere in America, So yeah. But
yeah, I left quite a long response to this on the forums.
Okay.
The NWR Japan Crew thread, which you can link to from the show notes. But basically, I just said that when you first arrive in Japan, depending on where you're from, things will be very, very expensive, or if you're from Australia, very, very reasonable. But as you get used to it, you obviously you're earning in yen, so you start thinking more in yen. So it's like when you're earning a certain amount per day, per week, per month, then you start to readjust things, and things that were incredibly expensive at first start to become reasonable, and you start to become you're in the Japanese economy kind of thing. So yeah, it's only when you kind of going back home, or like you're sending money back home, or something like that, that's when you start to think about price differences.
Right.
I don't really tend to think about that too much.
Yeah, typically me too. I mean, it just depends what I'm doing, I guess, like you said. But yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah,
it is. I do. I mean, Danny, I've talked about this with you off air before, but like, I think it's funny how I don't know why it is. It's mostly Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's only Americans who do this. But like,
yeah,
they are like, brilliant. Them lot. They always use dollars, even though they're in Japan. So they're like, they're talking to like a British guy, an Australian guy, and a Japanese guy, and they're, oh yeah, I got this. Do you see that watermelon? It cost me like $25.
Yeah.
And then it's like 3 out of the 4 people in the conversation are like, what are you talking about, man? It's like, really?
Bones.
Did you go back to bones? It's like, did you go back to America and buy this watermelon and bring it back? So
no, actually, as soon as I touch something, it becomes American property. Thus, I'm in America. Boom.
I think they made a movie about that. It's called World Police. Had puppets in it, I think. But but it's funny. I've never really done that. Like maybe the first year I was in Japan, I was like converting everything to pounds, But yeah, that slowly goes away. Except
I don't know
if you're American.
Yeah, no, seriously, I do. Something like 2,000 yen, I'll say to myself, oh, $20, whatever. I know it's just a thing, man. I can't explain it. Just American
I think
arrogance, I guess.
maybe no. I think it's probably just because it's so. I mean, it is easy. You just take the two zeros off, right?
Right. I mean, even though technically it's not 100 to 1 or whatever,
Yeah,
you know,
it's round about that most of the time, isn't it? It's
close enough.
probably sometimes less, sometimes more, but it's round about that.
Yeah, not as complicated as like the pound, where it's like, God, I don't even. Hey, 2 pounds is
Well,
like, 2,000 yen or something. I don't know. No, not even.
it's gone from like knock two zeros off and double it to like knock two zeros off and halve it, and to like just round about the same as the dollar. It's kind of fluctuated a lot, so
Right, right, right.
I've just kind of given up. I
Yeah,
just
it's
get a
probably.
I just use an app now to calculate stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. Absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, being somebody coming from America, like Midwest, kind of middle of nowhere, yeah, things are a lot more expensive here, in general than what I was used to in the back home. And that's fine.
Well, I guess
Yeah, get used to it.
if we're talking to people if we're talking to people who obviously who don't live in Japan, then we should say that if you're visiting, then yeah, you might be surprised about how expensive certain things are.
Yeah,
So,
like I'll even just tell you, like being an American guy, you go to McDonald's or something like that, or any kind of restaurant, and you get like a soda, like a Coca-Cola or something, right? And you almost expect, hey, this is my goddamn Coca-Cola. I can get refills as much as I want, right? But that's just another thing here. I mean, it's just no. Most places typically do not give you free refills. So I mean, it's just kind of like one of those weird things that I grown up with my whole life and never even thought about it. And I think it was the first time when I went to Europe, I just noticed that. I was like, man, it's €2 for like a Coke, and that's only one of them. But
there you go. And yeah, let's not turn this into some kind of political slash economics podcast, but we could go into the reasons behind that, but let's not. There
yeah,
you
sure,
go.
sure.
Cool.
And
So, do we have any comments, like live comments?
I have not seen anything cool. Yeah, it is. I mean, this is kind of an oddball time to do this in the UK. Well, over in Europe and stuff, it's almost like the end of the workday
Mhm.
ish, something like that.
Yeah.
And I know in America, it's almost like the beginning of the workday, getting to the middle. So it's kind of an odd time to have a podcast, but this is just a time
In
that changed my life
Australia,
a bit.
it's like midnight, I think.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning almost. So yeah, and then here it's almost
Yeah.
midnight. So
Well, it's a holiday. It's a national holiday in Japan on a Monday.
yeah,
I don't know why.
uh,
Sports
sports
day.
day. Yeah, 50 years
Sports
of
day.
50-year anniversary. Well, now it's a 50-year anniversary of when they held the Olympics in Japan back in 1950 years ago.
64.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, which I think is when they started doing the bullet train for the first time too,
Oh, okay. I'll take your word for
to
it.
connect Tokyo and Osaka. There
Hmm.
you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will try and do these live shows on a weekend, when people are not at work and
Sure.
can actually listen in.
Right.
But the aim is to do one live show somewhere in the middle of the month, like now, and then the proper quote unquote studio episode at the end of the month, like we've always done. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, this live show is hopefully, we'd like to get some, audience reactions and stuff, live reactions.
Right.
Obviously, it hasn't worked out
Well,
today, but
yeah, it's fine. And maybe in the future
we
too.
need to give.
Maybe we'll give you guys a better heads up out there too, instead of just like, hey, we're doing this in a couple hours, which is not the ideal way to do something like this. But whatever.
Right.
So
We'll
yeah,
set up a page, maybe set up a page on the website and update that when it goes live, so you guys can work out when it's going to be,
right, right,
and cancel all your plans and your social plans just to listen to us.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, it does look like we do have another email. And I remember I actually read this one too. We won't get into the whole thing today because there's a
Should be fun.
lot of there's a lot of stuff. We could probably split this up into a lot of different things. It's actually really funny. It's from a guy named Russ Green from jolly old England, and Russ, obviously we have read your email, and thank you so much for all of this, these suggestions, this questions and stuff too. We appreciate that. Also, Klex Yoshi, he sent a bunch of cool stuff in too. And yeah, we'll get into this stuff a little bit later, hopefully in the episode that's coming later this month. So you guys can look forward to that and keep your questions coming in. We definitely do read this stuff, and we appreciate everything you guys send us. So yeah, I think that might about do it, James.
Yeah, that's good. Please to enjoy. Looking forward to the next episode with more guys on and talking about the new 3DS and Monster Hunter 4.
Right.
Because if Matt's on, then I know he was planning on getting
4G
Monster Hunter 4G
Ultimate
and the new 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he got on with that. If he didn't pre-order one either, I don't know how well he got on with that. Maybe he gave up and just got the regular one.
Yeah, could be. We'll find out. So, cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for the show. If you want to follow me, my individual Twitter account is @DannyBiv. James, how about you, man?
@FamiComplicated. Please understand, I like to troll.
So if you see anything on there that just seems ridiculously offensive, he's probably kidding, but maybe not. So
always troll with love, not hate.
Exactly. And if you want to follow the Famicast, you can follow us @the Famicast. No spaces, no Z's, anything like that.
We should add Z's into it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we should. Just in the middle of the Famicast. Yeah, it's coming. You can also email us yes. You can also email us the Famicast I'm sorry, God, just Famicast @NintendoWorldReport.com. I think. Great, forgetting everything. Awesome. So, and as always, you can, if you're listening to the podcast version of this, you can hit us up in the comments below. If you're seeing the video on YouTube or whatever, you can do the same thing too. So yeah, that's going to do it here for us tonight. James, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem.
And we'll catch you guys later.
Family Crew out.
Peace.
Peace.